of blood, sweat and years. A strategic shakedown for drivers, cars and crews before the big one at Bathurst in November.
And what a race it has been for Russell Ingall, the enforcer, brings it home. There's Larry waving the cap.
The Queensland 500. 2 drivers per car. Pit stops under extreme pressure.
Oh, it's been a fight at the front here.
Double points up for grabs. Points which could prove decisive in a championship battle that is far from over. It's been one hell of a season so far. 5 different round winners, 12 different race winners. This is the test of the best. This is Queensland's Aussie Male 500, round 11 of the Shell Championship Series. Exclusive to your home of motorsport, Network 10.
Welcome to the place and the race where championships can be made and broken. Wonderful Queensland weather and a big crowd keen to see this awesome field of driving talent on display. Hello, I'm Bill Woods. Welcome to pit lane at Queensland Raceway, where Mark Skaife will defend a 173-point championship lead in the Shell Series, and the maximum number of points on offer in the Queensland Aussie Male 500 is 160. We could see a major turnaround today. At the very least, we'll see some fantastic racing. Now, Mark Skaife is joined by Craig Lowndes for this contest, and that'll make it extremely interesting. You might recall that last year both were championship contenders at this stage, so the Mobile Holden racing team decided to separate them and they went with new co-drivers. Not so in 2000, so it should be a great battle out there. Barry Sheene, welcome to you. Tremendous amount of new talent on display.
There's some fantastic driver pairings in there. You know, there's experience, and you get in a situation like Larry Perkins. He's got Christian Murchison and Luke Jordan, and they look like a couple of schoolboys, you know. But it's I don't think I've ever been to a race where so many people have said, oh, you know, I'm really happy with the car and everything's sorted out and that. But you know, it's so different because this race is run in the heat. You know, it's the first race they've had in the year in the heat, and it's a lot of different settings for the car and that. So I'm amazed that so many people are so happy.
But before the
time,
well, that's right. Before the top 10 shootout, less than a second between the top 16 driver pairings, which is quite remarkable. One of the more interesting ones too is Paul Morris, who's one of the young up-and-comers, and of course Kevin Schwantz, the 1993 World Motorcycle Champion. Times very similar.
Well, exactly. Now, Schwantz has done really well, you know. He never sat in one of these things. He's doing a NASCAR, but until 4 days ago. And it's not very far off the time of Paul, and Paul's been giving him sort of hints and tips on, you know, where to I heard him the other day saying braking-wise and that. But, yeah, it's going to be good, you know. I think it's all down to pit stops and all that. It's a lot of hard work.
Well, it's literally on for young and old. Our chief commentators, of course, are, as usual, Greg, Russ and Mark Oastler. Gentlemen, still, of course, Lowndes and Skaife, warm favourites.
They certainly are, Billy. You're quite right. I mean, they're the team that everybody wants to beat, aren't they? I mean, the engineering might and the organisational strength of the Holden racing team. I guess, Mark, the only question mark hanging over them this weekend is all the rumours and speculation floating around pit lane.
There has been a lot of speculation about Craig Lowndes and where he's going in 2001, but Holden Racing Team aren't number one for no reason. They are very, very professional. Even though there's all this stuff going on in the media and a lot of speculation, they are very professional about the way they're approaching. I don't think it's affected their build-up to the race at all.
When you cast your mind back to last year and you look at some of the things that happened, brakes are very much a factor here, aren't they?
Well, we saw it was a win and lose situation with brakes here last year. We saw Garth Tander and Jason Bargwanna in a winning position in the race. They came in for their brake stop. It was a disaster. It cost them 45 seconds. That cost them any chance of victory. If you remember that Greg Murphy and Stephen Richards too were placed, they were heading for a podium position. 2 laps from the finish, they had brake failure. That put them off the dais. So anything can happen here. Brakes, pit stops, very critical.
And picking a winner is an absolute nightmare. Let's take a look now at some of the highlights from the top 10 shootout.